Hey guys, welcome back. So, first of a new series, reloading. Learning how to reload at the same time as me. Bit of history. In the 90s I used to shoot pistol, and I used to reload for pistol, 9mm 38 45. Because of the volume I was shooting and cost, I was only a Ben, reloading very much made sense. However, reloading for pistol is a completely different ballgame to reloading for rifle, and I haven't touched a press in over 30 years. I picked up rifle again relatively recently, in the last sort of 5 years or so. Been shooting shotguns and various other things my whole life, more or less, but I'd sort of let my firearms certificate lapse after the pistol ban in '97. I only picked up rifles again recently to take up stalking. But stalking being what it is, I wasn't shooting a great deal of volume, and it just never made sense to me anyway, because of the performance I was getting out of the factory ammunition that I was shooting through my 270. I didn't need to reload, or at least I didn't think so. However, I decided last year to start spending a bit more time behind the rifle to get better with it, which makes me a better stalker, hopefully, because I'm more accurate, etc. More trigger time, always good. However, it is more expensive. Feeding a 270 for range work is bloody expensive. So I bought a 223. 223, much easier to feed. Obviously, it's range limited, but you know that's okay for what it is. However, I've started wanting to shoot at longer ranges. I want to get the 270 out. And once you start stretching things out beyond sort of 500 yards, it becomes more of a math problem, effectively, or a trigonometry problem. You really need to start throwing things at a consistent speed and a consistent group, or as consistent as possible. And that's where we come back around to the idea of reloading. It's not just financially cheaper to reload, it is satisfying because it's fun, and basically you get to do science in your shed, because that's what load development is. You are experimenting and developing a load, but it's also it's fun, or at least it is for me. I'm a geek, I enjoy that sort of thing. So I contacted Hornady via the distributor in the UK, Edgar Brothers, and because I've been shooting Hornady ammo, I've had a great deal of success with the 145 grain ALDX, which is my sort of go-to round for stalking on the 270. And they offered to send me a kit. Now, thank you very much, Hornady, and thank you to Edgar Brothers. They sent me this, the Hornady Lock and Load Classic Kit. Now, I did unbox this earlier and I did film it. However, the audio was ruined and I didn't check. And because I've already mounted it, it does make it quite difficult to film it again. So here we are in the shed that I've already set up and got everything mounted. So you're just going to have to imagine I'm unboxing it. There's the box, there's the kit. Now, I've put it on this plinth because I wanted it to be at this height, because I'm going to stand when I'm doing my reloading. It makes sense for that throw to be comfortable from a standing position, so I can get full range of motion. So it's on a plinth, but not only that, I've also got it so that I can undo these dogs and slide it out of the way. So basically it's not permanently taking up the front of my bench if I do want to do other things, which I think is pretty cool. This stuff's called T-Track. I basically routed in two 20mm channels, 10mm deep, mounted the track inside, put the dogs in, and obviously then mounted the plinth on it. The plinth itself is, I believe, a Lyman universal loading stand. Comes with all the mounting hardware. The top plate, basically it comes with two top plates with all the mounting holes for basically any press you can imagine, and this is the right plate and the right orientation for this press. Bolted it on, put the arm in. This is the press you get in the classic kit. It also comes, as you can see, with this, a volumetric powder thrower, which we'll see how that goes. The idea behind one of these basically is you throw a charge that is close to the charge you want, but not exact, because you're never going to get exact from a volumetric. And then you finish it off by weighing it on this, which is a digital scale you get with it, and this trickler. The trickler allows you to send a very, very small amount of powder in a controlled manner to basically keep topping up that charge until you get to the exact weight you want. So, what does it come with? Scales, trickler, powder thrower, press, a loading block, which I've already got some brass in, ready to go, a funnel, because you're going to need that to put powder into cases, the Hornady reloading manual, which will make interesting reading later, some case lube, a deburr tool, which, there we go, a deburr and chamfer tool, and a hand primer, which I had partially assembled, but it's just fallen apart in my hand because I picked it up badly. So this allows you to hand prime. However, if you are inclined to do so, you can also mount a priming arm on the press, which, I don't know, I'm going to try both and see which one I prefer. I suspect I'll probably stick with the hand primer because that's how I used to prime when I was a kid. I think that's everything that you get. What don't you get? Well, you don't get brass, primers, powder, or dyes, because obviously two of those are explosives and you're gonna have to go and buy them yourself. And a shell holder. Shell holder and dyes are obviously cartridge specific, so I'm loading 270. It's a number 1 shell holder, and these are 270 full length dyes. Now, the kit does, however, come with this quick release setup, which is actually awesome. This is new. I don't remember having this as a nipper. Basically half a turn and it's in and set up. That's mint. You can change dyes in a second. It's fantastic. Sorry. What it also 270 is not available in a match die set, so you can buy separately this, a micrometer adjustable top. So basically you can take a standard die set and turn it into a match die set with a micrometer adjustable top. So basically it means I can set the seating depth by just dialing in however many thou I want that in or out. And it means I don't have to do it by guesswork. It's a few extra quid to get that, but to be honest, for me, I thought it was worth it because it just takes the guesswork out of seating depth. Powder, primers, bullets, everything else I've acquired, and now I've got this thing set up, basically ready to go. So I think that'll do for episode 1. I just wanted to get everything out and get it set up and get ready. What I want to do next really is figure out how to properly set the dies up for first time use, so that we get the D prime and the full length sizer at the right length, and then obviously how to set up the bullet seating, and obviously case prep and all the rest of it. So I think I'll do a part 2 is going to be making my first ammo and seeing how we get on. So hopefully it's something you're interested in. Hopefully it is going to be useful for you, because I'm going to be learning at the same time you are. I'm not coming at this as an expert. I'm not trying to preach from a position of knowledge. I'm learning, and hopefully that will help you to learn. I'm going to make mistakes and we'll see how we get on. You get to make those mistakes with me, or perhaps avoid making them by watching me do it. So thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you plan to keep watching. If you have questions, please ask them below. As usual, if you want to get some money off a set of ear defenders, there's a link up there. Well, there's a code up there for you to use on the Sens website. If you want to get some merch, it's up here. And of course, I'd be very grateful if you consider joining the channel. You get perks, access to videos early, some members only content, and of course access to the chat channel. Guys, hope you're enjoying it. Hope it's something different and interesting for you. And hopefully you'll stick with it. I'll see you next time, guys.